Well, I've had a lot of friends ask, should I get chickens? Well, almost every time I'll say yes, and here's why.
This world's in trouble, you know what we mean. Homesteading is a lifestyle, healthy, wholesome, and green.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the All Green channel. I'm Jimbo. Thanks for following along. Today, let's talk about whether you should get chickens or not. Now, I've never regretted the decision. We have about 25 laying hens, and that's going to grow over the next couple years, as well as we are about to expand into meat chickens. This year, I'm thinking about 40 or 50 of them in a mobile tractor. So, listen to her. She's just loving this right now. Chickens are characters. There's not much more in your homestead that can bring you joy. I just love watching them. They're little velociraptors. That's how we describe them. And most of the time, they're very friendly. They're not super smart. Okay, I'll preface this video with that. But I tell you, there comes. Let's talk pros and cons. But there's a lot of pros with them. The first one being joy. I told you that. I think they're hilarious a lot of the times. Watching them and just seeing how they live and interact with each other. They're great. They're fun to watch and see him with my son, who's 3 years old, and he'll go right up to one and pick him up, and chicken doesn't mind. Gives my son a lot of joy. I love seeing it. There's some value there. Okay, I'll just leave it there. Everyone's got different opinions on stuff like that, but there's value in joy. Okay. Secondly, I love the eggs. Okay, especially right now when everything is so expensive. What I see, I mean, you see a lot of pictures going around the internet right now. A dozen eggs for $8. I mean, come on, holy moly! A few dozen will pay for a bag of feed. So, anyways, there's a lot of value in egg production, and frankly, a lot of homesteaders, okay, they start with chickens because they are known to be fairly easy keepers, but they get almost an immediate return on their investment, right? You immediately pretty immediately, start getting eggs, and you can feed your family with laying hens. And we have to keep tabs and take good care of our girls. Okay, we have to make sure that they're fed right, they have good proper housing, they're warm enough, they've got lots of water and nutrients. But that's with any animal. Okay, so in my opinion, chickens are fairly easy keepers. Now, they bring you joy, they give you food. If they stop laying, and depending on your views of your animals, if they're best friends and they're pets, you're not going to probably harvest them, but you could. I'm just saying, in case of emergency, there is a meat source there. We have done it. We have, 2 years ago, our first year with chickens, we had a layer. We started with some older girls, okay, and by the end of the year they stopped laying. And it wasn't the normal end of the year winter time. Like, they were old and they just stopped producing eggs. And so we wanted to have the experience, and we would do it again. But again, I'm getting meat hens this year for that purpose. I don't really expect these laying hens to be a meat source for our family, but they could be. Again, in times of stress and strain and financial strife, they have it's nice to have the peace of mind knowing that I've got laying hens running around laying eggs, as well as being meat sources themselves. Now, I will also say it's not fantastic meat. Okay, they're very lean. They're not super fatty on the interior of the meat, and we just didn't care for it as much as say a meat hen, or yeah, a meat bird. So just be aware, that those are some of the ways to think about chickens as a food source or producing food for you and your family. Um, so those are the main pros. I mean, that's really it. That's the bottom line. The cons, okay, is there are, like any animal, and it's not even a con really, with any animal, you've got to keep them healthy, like I was saying. So, keeping a good eye on them, keeping them well fed and supplemented and watered, and spending a little time with them, like any animal. They love a little. They enjoy and respond to a little love as well. Um, so, anyways, having a space for them, you do obviously need to designate some space. Some cons that we've experienced in the last few years. The biggest one is the death of the chicken via predator. Okay. By predator, I mean our dogs, and then one fox attack. We had one fox come up from the woods, had to cross an open field to get here to my backyard, came into the backyard where the dogs are, and come right up. And we had the dogs with the chickens at the time. Came right up. Dogs didn't know it was there until it was too late. It grabbed a chicken and took off. I watched this from my back window in the house. Okay. It's not one thing you can do about it because it's over before you can do anything. You can't even open the window and yell. It's over before you know it. So there are some cons to the big ones. Predators. If you live in the part of the country where there's a lot of predatory birds, okay, eagles, big hawks, big owls. There's always going to be some kind of predator. Just knowing what your local region has for predators is going to help you. You can maybe design your area for the chickens a little better. You can put other things up to scare those away. You can have dogs that may or may not do any good to scare the fox away, or those kind of predators. So, that's one of the cons, is you're going to lose some birds. It's going to happen, okay? Um, Luckily we hadn't really got my son wasn't super connected with them. And having those discussions with my son, I won't speak for anybody else's parenting but letting him know kind of that circle of life, even at 3 years old, and understanding that this predators will come in and predators will take food. That's how it works. That's why we're homesteading. We are the predator and we're growing our own food. And we're not hunting it necessarily, but you get my point. Anyways, we'll leave it there. Um, that's really it. I mean, they are easy keepers. They do need some space. You need to be able to. Oh no! That's gonna be a great video there. Sorry about that, guys. One of the cons is they like to fly on all your stuff and land there, right? We'll just hold it for the rest of this video. Um, they're troublemakers. They'll pretty much get into everything. They're a lot like cats in that they're very curious. So if you're down at the barn, they're going to be hanging around you, unless they're really skittish type birds. Every bird's a little different, just like people. But anyways, they'll make you smile. They'll make you laugh, and they'll cause you a little stress too. They'll get into places you don't want them. They'll get into stuff you don't want them into, and they'll make you laugh at times, and they'll drive you nuts at times. But in the end, I think, in my opinion, the pros outweigh the cons. We're gonna leave it there. Thank you guys for following. I hope you found this useful. Enjoy the rest of your day.